Good afternoon, everyone. This is Matt over at MilestoneCapitalGrowthPortfolio.com. Today is February 27th, and for the free video today, I have a few stocks I want to take a look at that have some great potential. ARIA had a little bit of an action this afternoon with increased volume. It was late day. I don't know if there's rumors going around, whatever the case may be. But now it's time to keep an eye on it. Late day session. What we need to get through is this box right here. I'm sure you've seen my video before on this one. And my strategy, I like to get through these consolidation boxes before we get the next move forward. But it's only, $9.97, so we're $1 away from that right now. Once we break out of that, but if you look at your Bollinger Bands, they're nice and tight and they're heading up. So that's a great sign. This thing can squeeze and break out at any given point here. One little bit of news, so it's really time to start watching this. Look for your 200-day moving average to be your next trade zone, which is $12.26. Unless news comes into play, then it's going to come right up and fill this gap. So look right in this area here after we break that box. So we're going to be probably trading right in this area right here before we get that next move to the upside and get that big gap fill over here if all goes well. Any downside, we have this gap over here, but I don't see anything spectacular taking place. Your relative strength index is a little bit high, and it's been consolidating nicely. Nice stepping stone in this. So it's almost time to get moving either up or down. And by the way these stages have set from here to here to here to here, you would assume one thing, right? I do. Up here. So keep an eye on ARIA for this next stepping stone move. And let's take a look at SHLD. They had earnings today and they beat. They did a great job, but I just want you to take note of a couple of areas if it gets followed through. Your relative strength index is only at 69, so after it tanked here, this gap was filled. We get a double top right here and a huge cluster right. Oops, get up there. And a huge cluster here with the 200 and the 100-day about to cross. So you had a little resistance at this 43.55. If this gets legs, look for it to come up and test this area here. But same thing, it probably won't break it until there's a reason for it. But the next gap that needs to get filled on SHLD is way up here, and it's at 55. So keep an eye on this one. It could get moving to the upside. One never knows until we trade it out, but nice to know what the pattern is. And from here, we're over the 50-day moving average, so I would expect this area to come at a pretty good clip once we break this double top. All right, let's take a look at JCP. JCP did a great job today after their earnings came up. Perfect shot here, right off the 50-day moving average, shot up and came up and tested the 100-day moving average. Okay, so there's one plan in place right now, and that's up. Great volume. The relative strength index is a little bit high, so we might have to accumulate in this area first. But I do see a test of this 817 to close this gap right here in the short term. And then maybe a pullback from there to relax the relative strength index and create a trade zone, and then move to the upside. I think 40% of the float is short on this thing, something crazy. But they have potential to be fixing themselves, and based off the earnings call. So keep an eye on JCP. And 695 was a two-year downtrend line that needed to get broken, and that was broken today with a huge gap. So let's see if we can get that 817 filled first and then move on from there. We'll monitor it in the member area. If you're not a member, it's time to join. All right, RNN. This thing got some nice juice today and closed above this candle here, which is great. So it's been going great since $1.05. I would anticipate this to come up now and test the 156, and then come up and test the 185. Relative strength index is fine. 67, plenty of room to move to the upside, and then just to see if we can get some more volume on this. But great move in here. Nice support. And she's going in the correct direction. RNN is doing very well. All right, OPK. OPK came up today. It's had a great move off the $7 area and this hammer over here. Great move. And now you have the next leg being broken. You had this top here, right here, was broken today, which was huge, and we came up and tested the upper Bollinger Band and the 100-day moving average. We do have a gap on OPK that needs to get filled, that little one here that you need to take note of, because it's up higher. It's $11.27. Keep an eye on that. And then you have the all-time top over here with the 1243. So OPK is moving in the right direction, and looks like 11 and change will be a nice target on this one. Relative strength index is a little bit high, but you know your support levels are going to be that where these candles are right now. Okay, that's basically it right now, and this double candle here. So OPK, keep an eye on it. ZU, this thing just does not want to stop. It's pretty amazing, actually. You know, it's had a huge move from 4 days ago. You know, we were talking about this in the chat room at 40, and now it's at 72, and this was just 4 days ago after they beat earnings. I believe that's what the case was, and they're just pounding up higher. I see this really going much higher. You know, it definitely needs a break, and I would say mid this candle, 67 somewhere would be your support area to create a nice trade area. Consolidation time before we move higher to the upside or lower, whatever the case may be. But what a beast move this one made. So ZU, that's the benefit of being in the live chat room. All right, ANR, we'll take a look at that one. ANR is looking really good. It just broke the middle Bollinger Band and closed above it, so I would expect this one to continue higher up here. The 50-day is going to be next, along with the 200 and then 100. So everything's set in stages here. It looks like an easy 598 from here, and then with increased volume and relative strength going up, I think we're going to test the 200-day moving average, and then the 50-day will be the support. That's where I think we're going to get, and then we'll consolidate for a little bit before we move to the upside. That's the way the technical's looking on it. Let's take a look at Netflix also. I wonder if we're getting into this top area yet. It looks pretty close. It broke out of this consolidate. We've been managing this from quite some time. It's been a great trader. And the weekly looks really good. Relative strength index is at 75, but this might be the top. If this is the top, look for this to come back down and get into this area for support. You know, all the way down here, which is going to be about 428, somewhere in that area. Always remember, we have the gap, low gap here. So you never know if it's going to get filled or not at 335, but that's $120 from where it is right now. But let's take baby steps. Baby steps it is. Okay, here's your support level right here. So look for 428 to come in for your bottom on any dip on this one. All right, that's Netflix. All right. Members, we have a great session tonight. Many stocks to take a look at and potential gainers. So just make sure you check those videos out. If you're not a member, please join us. There's many great traders in the chat room who are doing a fantastic job and working as a team together to pull out every trade that they possibly can. And you know, it's mainly options, but it's great chartists in there, and we do a lot of teaching and a lot of development of charts. So, okay, everyone, have yourself a great night. This is Matt over at Milestone Capital Growth Portfolio.